it's Larry and Melissa from Tri-County Golf Ranch
How's it
in
going,
Springdale,
guys?
Ohio. And we're going to talk about irons.
Okay.
So basically how they're made, why they're made the way they are. We're going to talk about our setup and what tilt is in our setup.
Okay.
And then also path and face angle.
Right.
Angle of attack. And then a drill that we like to do called
Okay.
left, right, center, or left, right, center.
Yeah, left, right, straight.
Left, right, straight.
One of those two,
Can you
right?
hit the golf ball straight?
Yes, I
You
can.
can?
Yeah.
Okay.
It only goes straight for a little short distance, but it goes straight.
Okay, so we are going to use a snag club, which is made for juniors. It's really cool, actually. If you want to come check it out, it works really well for developing body awareness for golf and young golfers. And they do actually make adult products, too. So this is our iron that we're working on. And this would be considered the club face.
Yeah.
All right. This part out here is called the toe. This part's the heel. The bottom part's called the sole.
Like a foot.
The whole thing's called a club head. This would be the hosel. This red part here would be the shaft, and then that blue part is the grip. Some people call it a handle.
Yeah.
And this middle target area would be what would we consider our sweet spot. That's where we're trying to hit the golf ball. So, Larry, why is the shaft in the heel end of the club? Why do they do that?
Man,
Because we want to hit it straight, right? So why would they put it there?
you know, that's the craziest thing because of science and leverage and all that other stuff, but they've actually experimented with this, trying to put the shaft in the middle to try to make it go straight back and straight through, and you can't create leverage, you can't get any power out of it, so they put it in the heel of the club to allow the club to be able to rotate, open and close through the swing like a windshield wiper. And
You've
also
been skiing a lot, right, Larry?
do what?
Skiing, water skiing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So basically, that grip end,
yeah.
it would be the boat, right?
The boat, right?
This is our tether,
Rope.
our line, or rope,
Right.
And then this part would be the skier, right?
Or the inner tube, yeah.
Absolutely. So when the boat turns really hard,
Doosh.
what happens to the skier or the inner tuber?
Goes faster.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes faster. So the faster we can move this, the faster this will move, right?
Right. And this is moved by our.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey guys, we're back again.
So faster we move the grip end, the faster the club head's going to actually move.
Should, yes.
Yes, it should. But if we try to force that grip end, it's not going to really actually move that fast.
And you also can keep the club face
Right,
square.
it needs to stay with our center.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what do we do in our setup to help us use that club more effectively?
That's a great question. We hear that all the time. Almost every one of our students never set up properly.
Absolutely.
And so I think the big thing of it is you have to have your shoulders over your toes. And when you lean your shoulders forward, your rump goes out.
Right.
And then your hands have got to hang around your chin, right?
Absolutely. So understand, Larry's in a really balanced position here. If I were to try to push him over, I can't do it very well. Okay, but if Larry were to stand up taller, it's really easy for me to push him off his center of gravity, right? And then just the opposite, if Larry comes way forward towards his toes, I can still push him to
Right,
come from
forward.
behind.
Exactly. There we go.
So the whole idea is to get his center of gravity over the golf ball.
Right, which is here.
Right here. Okay. This is our hitting area. This
right
is our
here.
center of gravity. Some people will refer to it as the slots, but this is where we're trying to stay during the
Right.
whole time that we're hitting a golf ball.
We don't want to be up here.
And so
We don't wanna be down
understand, our
here.
body makes compensations. We work up and off the golf ball sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes we move side to side and we lose this hitting area.
Yep.
And then that's what creates crummy golf shots.
Yep.
So let's talk just a little bit more about that tilt. So there's something called hip angle here, and what we're talking about is this angle of his hip in regards to his back. Larry's trying to keep his spine as long and as straight as possible. If Larry gets rounded over, Larry. It's really difficult for him to rotate, and it changes his center of gravity. It's really easy for me to push him over.
I can't even turn from there.
He can't turn from there. So we're looking for a nice straight spine, his chin up as best as possible. Understand Larry wears glasses, so his view of the golf ball might be different than someone who doesn't wear glasses. So this is what we're talking about as far as setup and tilt. All right, Larry. So why is swing or club path, swing path?
One of those, right?
The track that the club moves on.
Path. Oh, there we go.
Why is it so important? And why is it hard for me to talk about it?
I don't know, because I'm not going to answer that question.
Okay.
Path to me, is what dictates the direction of the golf ball.
Well, how it starts.
How it starts, exactly.
How it comes off the club head.
How it comes off the club head. So if I'm set up in a really good posture here, and I deliver the club, because we all hear this, bring the club from the inside out. Well, look at this. If I bring it from the inside out, where's my golf ball?
Larry's golf ball is going to go to the right.
It's going to go to the right. This is my straight path, and if I'm bringing it from the inside to out, it's going to go to the right.
Your body's going to be in the way.
So that's what we hear all the time.
Absolutely.
Guy, you got to bring the club from the inside out.
You got to swing the club down the target line.
Well, target line's only about that long anyway.
Right, but I think it's interpreted as this target line is like from us to like 150 yards out there.
Yeah, it's not.
And we can't physically hold a club down the target line.
It's impossible.
It's only about 6 inches.
Yeah, 6 to 8 inches, yeah.
And then just the opposite, Larry. What happens if you hear people talk about casting?
Well,
and that can alter club path as well.
Yeah, that's another one of the things that kind of irks my body. Really, there's no such thing as casting. I haven't seen a golfer yet, and I've been given lessons for a long time that go like this in the golf swing. I haven't seen one yet. The only reason why casting is a word is because they lose this distance from here to here. When you start here and we go back, it should maintain. But what happens, we see it all the time, they get closer to our body. So what do we got to do? We got to get the club off our body.
Which could be referred to as casting.
Which is referred to as casting.
So that's a lack of flexibility, sometimes strength, in the body.
Exactly.
That causes that.
Right.
So if we can keep the club the same distance the whole time.
As close as we can, yeah.
One, we're not going to go inside, and two, we're not going to
throw the
club off our body and come from the outside. So if that person were to come from the outside, what does that look like?
So if I get set up in my great posture, I swing the club back, and all of a sudden I throw the club off my body. Now you can see the shaft and the face moving outside. Here's my straight line, and now the club's working this way, which we see a lot.
We see that a lot. And what we see actually in Larry's golf swing is when he starts his downswing, he actually slides into his left side.
I slide.
And now he has to bring the club
and I hit a
low
pull most of the
time. And it takes the loss off the club face. You know, why don't I hit my iron so high? Well, probably because you're de-lofting them.
I've de-lofted the club because
somewhere in the downswing.
I've slid forward.
Absolutely.
And the path is a little outside.
Notice his spine's way in front of it.
And then, because I've played golf a long time, I've been pretty athletic all my life. Luckily, I can kind of get by with it. But you know, the more competition, the higher level competition I've played in, the greens get pretty hard. And when I'm hitting a 7-iron only 70 feet and the rest of them are hitting at 100 feet, I'm in a little bit of a disadvantage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's path.
Right.
And that path is what affects how the golf ball comes off the club face.
Right.
All right. And so then we've got face angle.
Correct. So face angle that dictates to me the spin of the golf ball.
So the golf ball's already taken off in the air. It's heading in one of 3 directions, either left, right, or straight.
Right.
And now it's starting to spin.
Right.
Maybe spinning left, maybe spinning right.
If it's spinning left, that means the club face is shutting down.
For a right-handed golfer.
For a right-handed golfer, shutting down before impact.
Right.
So it's going to come in this way, and it's going to go have a side spin.
Absolutely. And then just the opposite, if the ball starts to balloon,
the club face is being opened through impact.
And the golf ball for right-handed golfers is moving to the right now.
Going high
so
right.
So it's a balloony shot, loses a lot of distance.
And
most of us don't like that.
And I see that in probably 95% of all my golfers.
Do you like hitting it short, Larry?
Heck no. But I see a lot of that short right stuff because they're trying to keep the club face square.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not meant to be square. That's why they put it.
Is in the heel.
That's why the shaft is in the heel. It's meant to work this way. So again, I see a lot of this where the toe opens up and it goes high right and it doesn't go very far, and they're thinking there's something wrong with their swing, and it's not so much their swing as so much as they're not in control of the face.
Absolutely.
What controls the face, Melissa?
I do.
How do you do that? With your hands?
Yes, my hands control the face.
Your hands control the face.
Which starts with grip.
Which start
if I've
with
got
the
a crummy grip, it's going to be really difficult to control the face.
Right.
So that's a whole nother video.
Yeah, another video, I know, okay.
We've got this fancy term called angle of attack. Sounds like we're in like World War III or something like that. What's angle of attack?
Oh, God. Angle of attack, to me, is depending on purely how the body's moving into the golf ball.
Absolutely.
And So if this would be square or flat or soled, right? With an iron, you pretty much, once we get it back to the top, it needs to come in. Let's go into a descending angle.
It's descending, but we're not necessarily hitting down on it.
We're not hitting down on it. We're not moving down into the ball. It's just how the iron is.
If it goes up, it's got to come down,
yeah,
right?
if it goes down, it's got to go up, right? But what we see is we hear some people, I got to hit down on the ball, and they're moving their whole body
right.
down.
If you notice, so now Larry's spine is in front of the golf ball. He's actually taken loft off of the club. And ball's going to most likely go low and left.
Exactly.
Most likely.
So descending blow is all on how I get back here at the top of my swing. I'm up and in a pretty good position, and I start transferring my weight. As I deliver the club, I start swinging the club, and I deliver my body. Because of the way I've moved my body in a rotational
You're
motion,
compressing the golf ball.
I'm compressing the golf ball, right?
Absolutely. So compressing the golf ball, basically, the club is basically... I'm really bad with words today. You do it.
Compressing the golf ball. Well, there's another term for another video, but compressing the golf ball is when the club comes into the golf ball and it compresses or flattens out against the club and shoots off.
Right. It's really cool to watch that in slow motion.
Yeah, really
the ball
cool.
looks like a jellyfish. It's like
whoop, it expands. It's pretty crazy.
Absolutely. But understand, if we're working up on the golf ball, there's no way to compress it.
Right.
And if we're working steep into the golf ball, we can't really
That's
compress
called,
it.
It's called trapping.
It's
so,
trapping,
right.
but we can't really compress it there. There's this perfect angle of attack that compresses the golf ball.
And I laugh at that because there's not many guys on tour that really want to take a divot.
Right.
But they take a divot because
they probably slide a little bit.
They slid or they move your spine
angle.
angle.
A little bit.
And I was lucky enough to hang around Mo Norman, one of the greatest ball strikers I ever saw. But as he called it, I brushed the grass, I combed the grass, I brushed the grass. And he says you should never take a divot.
Right.
Melissa, you don't take a divot either.
I don't take a divot very often. My club's working down and it actually kind of levels out and then it starts to work up. But it's happening so fast, I don't do it on purpose.
So
I'm working on my motion, and my motion allows that to happen, but there's no way I can physically control that in under a second.
Yeah, swing takes less than a second.
Yeah.
So if we do the alphabet, too many people swing the club like a letter V, up and down, up and down. That's what they keep calling steep. It should be in a letter U, elongated U or a boat.
Absolutely.
Right?
Where it kind of levels out
right.
at the bottom.
Levels out at the
Especially
bottom.
when we're hitting driver.
Exactly.
Yep.
Hey, we're back.
And then now we're going to talk about Larry's favorite drill.
I love this drill.
Left, right, center, or left, right, straight.
Left, right, straight.
So, how do we do it?
So, to me, it's a great way to learn that you are in charge of path and face angle. And there's a lot more reasons to cause the golf ball to go crooked, but primarily there's 2 reasons to make it go left, 2 reasons to make it go right.
And then a ton of variance in between there.
There's a lot of variance in between, and basically 2 reasons to make it go straight. So I like to set up as square as I can on a mat, or if I'm on a grass, find a straight line as straight as I can, and then I like to go, okay, how far left can I hit it? So that's done with face angle, being
Larry,
shut down, and path. I'm going over the top, the path is outside my body, so now I'm going to hit a left, so I like to see how far left I can hit it. Then I immediately put another ball up, set up as square as I can, and see how far right I can hit it. Primarily 2 reasons. Path, if I'm swinging the club too far from inside to out, it's going to go right, and the face is 99% of the time open when they're in this position. Open makes the golf ball go right.
And then you're going to try to put the 2 together and hit one straight.
Then I'm going to try to put them together. So I got my straight line here, and I know that my hands are in charge of that face, so I'm going to try to swing the club probably about 6 to 8 inches as straight as I can. Goes back, up, try to get it down on my imaginary line that I see down the line.
Best chances to hit it straight are a great setup.
Great setup.
A great grip.
Great grip, exactly.
And understanding how the body wants to rotate.
Move around.
That's how we're going to
right.
hit a straight shot. And understand, there's really no such thing as straight in golf.
Yeah.
The ball's most likely going to have a little bit of spin one direction or the other. Even just the tiniest on a straight ball, because it's not impossible. It's very difficult to have that perfect timing where path and face are perfectly straight all at the same time.
It's luck, as Ben Hogan called it. It's luck to hit it straight.
Yeah. And most of the time, we're trying to actually move the golf ball a little bit.
Yeah.
We're trying to let it go just a little to the left on purpose.
I'm sorry, I'm back.
Some people let it go a little bit to the right on purpose.
Well, all the women and guys on tour, on what you see on TV, they're trying to work the golf ball to the flag. They start it in the middle of the green and try to turn it one way or another. They're never trying to hit a dead straight golf ball. They might be able to do that with their wedges in a 9-iron or something like that, but most of the time they're trying to move the golf ball.
Well, and this is a little more advanced, and we'll talk about it later, but we have certain clubs where we're trying to actually aim right at our target.
Yeah.
So for me, it's any of my wedges, my 9-iron, and even my 8-iron, I'll go right for a pin.
Right.
But once I get my 7-iron in my hand, chances are I'm playing for something a little more conservative.
Right.
Like the fat of the green, or the middle of the green, or something like that. So what's yours? At what point do you stop going right for your target, depending on what you got in your hand?
Let's say if I'm just playing mediocre round of golf or not playing really well, wedges all the way to a 9-iron possibly, and then I'm feeling frisky, which sometimes I'm a little over frisky, all the way up to my 6-iron. I'm probably aiming at the flag.
There's days where you feel really good and you're not going to miss anything, and that's what, 5% of the time that we can do that. Yeah, absolutely. So most of the time we're trying to think our way around the golf course.
I mean, that's another video, but if you knew the stats on how close those guys don't hit it, is what I mean by that is, you think they always hit it really close. They don't hit it that close. If you took on averages from like 150 yards, the best average on tour is 27 feet or something like that. It's not that close. So,
absolutely. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for sticking with us to our iron video, and please send us any questions. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Check out our website. Thanks.
Check it out. Thank you, guys.